So these are the new bits. At the moment I've got magnets on the inside holding the magnets on the outside in place while the glue dries, so it won't have those magnets on the inside when we're finished, I hope. That sits on there, so that should flap backwards and forwards, but I have to cut take that off, cut some of this foam out that I put in there to make sure it could never sink when I did this for some other project a long time ago. So this is then going to sit in there, and that motor will fit in there, and the magnets will fit on the shaft and spin round. And when they spin round, my theory is that will flick backwards and forwards. And without those magnets on the inside, which I should be able to take off now, the yoke, or whatever you want to call it, can't actually touch the spinning disc with the magnets in it. So that should flop about like that. Now whether it'll flop about as much as that, bearing in mind that'll be spinning quite fast, as long as we get something like that, we should get some movement. You'll notice that'll be north, south, if you see what I mean. They're both pointing the same way, and when I put the other magnet in there, they'll both be pointing the same way, so that as it spins round, and let's see if we can do it. Right, that one repels that one, pushes that out, and at the same time the one in there will be attracting that one. So we should get quite an efficient flapping motion. In theory. We'll find out in practice when I get it all together. Got to clear the rest of the muck off that one, and then we'll put it together. Oh, and got to cut a hole in there, take that motor off there, sort out some way of giving it a battery supply. I could probably just chop that off and still use that battery box. You might recognise that's a bit of an old radio controlled car there. That's the steering end. Well, that part of it looks okay. So I think I'll cut this so I can still use that battery box and sink it in there. And put some alcohol on that to get the hot glue off the motor. For those of you who haven't seen this before, surgical spirit, alcohol. If you put it on the hot glue, or at least on the surface of the thing you're trying to release, it actually works its way under the hot glue and it releases. It doesn't dissolve the hot glue or anything like that. It just gets between the hot glue and whatever it is it's stuck to. You might even be able to see it getting underneath the edge there. And give it a few minutes to work its magic. And off it comes. It makes hot glue very useful for temporary fixes. I always used to think of it as a sort of semi-permanent thing, but once you realise you can get it off again quite easily, then you realise you can use it for temporary things. I'm not sure if you call it capillary action or what, but it gets underneath, wicks its way underneath. And there we are. Might have to desolder that and resolder it so I can use it, although being as I'm going to cut this off, I could just cut that. Oh no, it goes to an on-off switch, which we're not going to be using. So we'll just pop the batteries in and out. On-off switch would be handy, wouldn't it? Thinking about it. We weren't using that one because it was broken. So I suppose I could fit another one there. Oh, I don't know. It's easier just to pull the batteries in and out. It also makes sure that I don't leave batteries in when I finish the job. Well, one step forwards, 2 steps back, as usually is the case when I'm doing things. Cut this out nicely so that fits in fine. Cut that end out all right, but then I managed to break the edges off here. I'd made them a bit too tight fitting, so I'm printing another version with a bit more space in it, because when I pushed the motor in there, it actually pushed the sides off, and also that is too close a tolerance in that gap there, so I'm going to make it a bit bigger all round and have another go. However, it did mean that I was able to work out that I'd put the magnets on here wrong, because I put them north-south, north-south, whereas I need them to be the same poles pointing outwards, if that makes any sense. I think that's what I worked out. Yeah, I think I did it. Oh dear, dear. Let's put that on there. Hold that in position, because yeah, you can't really tell because it's turning. Can I hold it still? Yeah, so it attracts that side and repels that side. And if I turn it round the other way, 180 degrees, it now attracts that side and repels that side. So yes, I had got it wrong. I'd got them, they need to be facing opposite directions, because the ones in there are north-south straight the way across. Yeah, I think that's right. The only other thing is I did have enough time to give it a bit of power, and I think all the magnets are much too powerful, because it all sticks together rather than spinning. But we'll find out when the print is finished. We'll give it a try, and if it's all too powerful, then I'll have to change this to smaller magnets. I do have plenty of them. There's another pile of these over in the window ledge. So if we reduce it down to just little ones like that, it'll have less power, but it might work. But at the moment, that's even interacting with the magnets in the solder's come off. That's even interacting with the magnets in the motor, so it sort of cogs around, as they say. Right, need to solder that one. Yeah. Well, still waiting for the bit to be reprinted. I'm just trying this out, and I think we got a fail going on here. Well, I don't know, that looked like it might work. I think it's going to be a problem getting the adjustment just right. I think you can see where I'm going with this, but yeah, something like that. I don't know whether it'll work or not. The print's about 2 hours, so that's why I'm playing around. Maybe it'll work. Maybe. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.